All right. So we got some interesting things on the up and up for more uplifting for looking toward the future. Well, it depends on the way you view these people. It may not be too exciting for some people, but so Lucasfilm Games, they're kind of being reformed to a degree, and we're starting to see more companies getting a shot at their franchises, which involves Star Wars.
It's very, very important that people understand that Lucasfilm Games is not the Lucasfilm Games
completely different
developer that made all those really good games for so
completely
long.
Different. They're being rebranded.
That's not them at all. Like, this is a brand new organization. All Disney is doing is taking the branding and using it to, hoard the title out some more, which could go either way.
Yeah. So because of this, there has been some game announcements that have happened recently, which again, for some may be exciting, for others may not be. One very important element of this, though, is that EA no longer has like a monopoly on this shit. They can't just make, so not every Star Wars game is now an EA game, if you get the idea. So you can have other companies putting their hand in the cookie jar trying to make their own Star Wars games, which is
Could we get reputable companies instead of the ones that they did get?
You know how Disney is, the ones with the most money get to go first, okay? So, hey, hopefully I would love to see, again,
you sold your soul to Satan. Have a Star Wars.
Poggers. Here you go. Poggers. All right, so one major thing, where would my article go? Hello? All right, well, so there's a Star Wars game coming out. It's being made by Ubisoft. So take with that what you will. Hopefully it's not Assassin's Creed in the Star Wars universe. I would really like the more creative side of Ubisoft to come out here, if they still exist somewhere. Yeah. Like pushed back in the corner where all the interns make the coffee or some shit. Get those people working on this game.
Haven't left.
Yeah. Please, I would love a exciting Star Wars game coming from them. Now, again, outside of just straight shitting on EA, they did make the one with Cal Kestis, where the fuck his name is, the one that's like a Dark Souls clone. That game's excellent. I forget what it's called.
Fallen Order.
That's a really good Star Wars game. Now it kind of falls out of place with the larger things of Star Wars, so take with that what you will. But still, it's like a good game. It's not a Battlefront 2. It was a decent take from EA, and they just recently did Squadrons, which a lot of people are loving a lot. Like, super involved and really enjoying Squadrons. So I'm not just going to shit on EA. They've done some good Star Wars games, but we might see more of like an open world RPG take on this, where EA has kind of shot those down in the past with what was the one they did with like the bounty hunters? I forgot what that was called. It got canceled. It was canned.
Oh yeah, was it called Star Wars 1313 or something like that?
Something like that.
That was probably something else.
But it was a bounty hunter game. It was being done by EA, but they canned it because they just moved those funds somewhere else or some shit. But the project was canceled, and a lot of people were excited for that because it was like an open world RPG Star Wars game, and that's something that a lot of people like, because a lot of people, I think, what it is they harken back to the BioWare days with the why am I sucking ass at names today, bro? What's the BioWare Star Wars games called?
The
Knights of the Old Republic? Yeah. A lot of people adore those games. They fucking love them, and I think people are probably wanting to get back to that kind of Star Wars game. So Ubisoft could shine a light on that and get us somewhere closer to something like that and get some people excited. We haven't heard anything else about this game yet, though, outside of the fact that it's being made. So we're really kind of waiting, but I think one cool thing, again, we talked about it before, but maybe I was thinking to pose the question, since there's more of a freedom, say if we can give any indie dev or any dev we wanted enough money to suck Disney's cock off so they can get access to a Star Wars game, what kind of dev would we want doing a Star Wars game? Since we don't want Ubisoft and Bethesda making,
I'd actually like Insomniac to try their hand at Star Wars.
That's what I was gonna say, Jack Daxter.
I was gonna see let's look at like I don't know. They've done a great job with Spider-Man. They've always done interesting things in certain franchises. I'd love to see them do something with Star Wars. I think that'd be really cool. Whether they want to do like
I think
platformer.
Do you remember
that kind of thing?
Do you remember the Bounty Hunter on the GameCube where you played as?
Yes.
Was it Boba?
You played as Jango Fett.
Oh, Django. Yeah. Okay, whatever.
You played Jango Fett.
Imagine something along that line, like another Jango Fett game, but done by Insomniac, bro.
Yeah, I kind of like
fucking awesome.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Or like kind of like use an Uncharted, like kind of think of Uncharted, but like with like weapons and gadgets, and you go to different planets and like get a bounty or something like that.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. Like have the Uncharted like cinematic set pieces, like have like cool like chase scenes or whatever, but then have like exploration. Like, hey, you can go into these sections.
So kind of like Fallen Order, because Fallen Order is kind of in the vein of like a Metroidvania, where like you unlock abilities that open up other areas later and shit like that.
Or what would be really cool is if they did like I'd like Insomniac, since they've done a great job with Spider-Man and with momentum and stuff. I wonder like if it'd be cool to like do jetpack sequences. Like if you are a Mandalorian, like if they did a Mandalorian game, I think that'd be pretty cool. Now, of course, I know a lot of times licensed games, especially following a story that's already been done, there's not a lot of creative, freedom to do that. But if you could do like just a game about Mandalorians, like the history, like there's not, the only way you can find out about the information about Mandalorians if you look at the expanded universe books, if you look at comic books and that kind of stuff to know about them. Right now, Disney is doing the new, canon for Mandalorians because of the show and everything
else in the fire.
Disney's got a Disney.
Yeah,
but I'd love to see like where you can create your own Mandalorian. Like you could like because in the show there was an episode where they had different types of Mandalorians, different weapons. Because like either traditional, like, okay, he's a good shooter, jetpack with a rocket, all that kind of stuff. But even in the show, which I'm not spoiling anything, but Boba Fett has his own way
Baby
of
Yoda
handling
dies.
And then the Mandalorian has his own way of doing things, and they're different, separate, so different styles, that kind of thing. You could even do like a multiplayer thing where you have 3 different factions, and you choose from one of those, and like you have these big scale fights, that kind of thing. Maybe like almost like Battlefront, sort of.
Star Wars MMO, that'd be cool again.
Yeah, I'd even love to see like I'm trying to think of a like. I don't know. Insomniac's good. I'd also love to see like what a Japanese developer would do with Star Wars. Like let's take like I'm trying to think of a decent.
Make it a turn-based RPG. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe like
Enix, maybe, but they've kind of gone. They're kind of going away from turn-based stuff. They're going more of the action role playing.
Yeah.
Scene.
Or even like my babies.
Imagine.
What are they?
Yeah.
My babies. I'm forgetting their names. Holy shit. Let me sit here and think about it.
Your babies.
They made Nier. What the fuck? Oh, Platinum.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Star Wars action Platinum action Star Wars game. Oh my gosh.
Cool. It might be
Devil May Cry guys to do it.
Yeah, I think those might be. Maybe, I don't know, would that be too over the top for Star Wars?
I'd
crazy
love
Bayonetta action in a Star Wars game?
Okay, I know Squadrons is out. I get that, but I'd love for someone to make make Rogue Squadron again. That was one of my favorite games growing
That'd
up.
Be cool.
It was so good. Like the N64 game was really good.
I think we talked about that on the last podcast, where it'd be awesome to see a Rogue Squadron collection of all the games.
Yeah, because actually one of the coolest ones was the GameCube one, because I remember going to Walmart and playing that, and I'd never seen. Of course, GameCube, despite being a Nintendo console, it had. At the time, I was blown away by graphics. I was like, oh, they're so realistic, the shading, all this stuff. Of course, I was a kid, so I didn't really appreciate it at the time, but I thought it was so cool because I'd never seen it so clear and crisp before. But I'd love to get more of those types of games. Just please do not have escort missions. Please do not have escort missions.
We love escort missions.
Have a tantrum if they have an escort mission.
I'm surprised that things still make their way into games. Like anyone ever thought that would be a good idea ever. Then they still exist in games today. Like you still see them every once in a while. It's fucking disgusting. We said at the same time. It's kind of cute, Sam. You and me.
Yeah, buddy.
I'd be down for like like an Uncharted style Star Wars game, like you were saying. But like no RPG systems, just straight narrative and like adventure game. I'd be down for that as fuck. That'd be really cool.
like call it like a Republic Spy or something, like you're a spy. Like even like have like a stealth game where you can actually go and try to find like steal plans for Empire thing or New Order or something like that, or even like I don't know, like I know it'd be kind of dumb, but like have a game where it'd be like to be a hut.
Oh my god! I'm thinking even like
like a dating sim.
There's so many. Oh my fucking god!
Sam, there's a special place in hell for you.
Jabba the Hutt dating sim, please give me that. That's what I need, bro. Get the Neko Paro team behind it. I need to see Jabba the Hutt's jiggling titties. You know what? I think it'd even be cool, like, even if they weren't things that were like majorly impactful, like, I don't know, some kind of narrative story where it's like, I don't know, one of the original Jedi dudes that made lightsabers or something, and it's his story going on, or you get like approached by the Empire and you got to go do something. Or something.
You know, I just
thought made their own lightsabers.
They do. But I think he's talking about the guy who made the first lightsaber, I guess.
Or that, or a Jedi that just makes his own lightsaber. You get what I'm saying? I didn't say he didn't have to be a Jedi.
I'd like, because Disney's fucked up Jedi so bad.
Yeah.
I would like to see stories that have nothing to do with Jedi.
What about a horror game where you play?
I just give me a fucking, this is life in space on an alien planet.
Yeah, I would love a
that
really
is in the Star Wars universe, but the Star Wars universe is so fucked.
I would adore.
It's hard to figure out where they would go with that.
I would adore a really good bounty hunter game, like just a really good game where you're a bounty hunter, you're some no name, and you get like missions. Maybe you'll see some of like the provincial characters every once in a while. I don't know, but like
I like to see a Star Wars beat 'em up, like have like an action beat 'em up.
What do you want?
Okay,
I want them to bring back the Kyle Katarn series, the Dark Forces 2, Jedi Outcast, Jedi Academy.
Yeah.
I want them to bring that back. The first-person shooter Star Wars games.
What about wasn't Jedi Academy the one where
they had good light?
Wasn't that the one where it was like the multiplayer game where you're playing all these different Jedi? It's like
It was multiplayer, but it was also single player. There was a single player campaign, but
gotcha.
it was multiplayer. But that was the finale because it was Dark Forces 2. And then
I remember Dark Forces.
Jedi something.
Wasn't it like Doom?
Jedi Cadet or whatever, and then the third one was like just like no, it was like Dark Forces and then Dark Forces 2, Jedi Apprentice or something like that, and then the third one was Jedi Apprentice, Jedi Outcast, and then the third one was
says the Jedi Knight series,
Jedi Apprentice, Jedi Academy. Or Jedi Knight, that's it. The third second one was Dark Forces Jedi Knight, and then the third one was Jedi Knight 2.
I had this on PC.
Jedi Outcast, and then the third one was Jedi Knight 3 Jedi Academy. They did the Rambo thing with the names, where they kept fucking with the naming conventions. But there's 4 games in the series, and they're all really good.
Even
like the first one was the first Doom Engine game that allowed you to look up and down. And shoot at things that were above and below you, because it used a really advanced, Doom type engine. I think they actually had id work on it with them. And the second one used a more advanced version of that engine, and they also had expansions. And then the third one was more like a straight up first person shooter computer type game, like the way they were being. It didn't break any new ground. It handled like pretty much every FPS on computers at the time, but it was actual 3D. And then the fourth one went to Luke Skywalker's Jedi Academy, because all of those games were set in the original canon, the expanded universe. So there's all these like faces from the books and things like that in the background, and Kyle Katarn was worked in. I'd also like them to return to the character that they used in was it Shadows of the one on Star Wars Shadows of the Empire.
Shadows of the Empire.
It'd be cool if they would completely remake that game.
Remake it.
Like 100% from the ground up, and then give us more stories with Dash Rendar.
Yes,
who is somebody who knows Han Solo. He also has a Millennium. He has a Corellian freighter, but his is different. He has his turbo lasers are different and shit. Like he's. I'd like to see that stuff. That'd be really interesting, because we don't really have any.
And make the Wampas absolutely terrifying.
I'm thinking Another, like, again, on the first shooter bend, one game that was really good I played back in the day was the Republic Commando game.
Yes, I played that for a very little bit, and that was really good.
It was cool.
If you could get Infinity Ward or like even the people like Respawn, like get Respawn who did Titanfall, let them take a crack at a Republic Commando, I think they would do a pretty good job at it.
Yeah,
because Titanfall 2, I've only played it so much, but it's one of the best first-person shooters I've ever played.
It's
the fluidity, the motion, everything.
Yeah,
I think it'd be great if they could do an awesome, redo of or remake of.
I would rather it be slower. Like, it'd be cool if it was like, because the original Republic Commando was kind of like a tactical shooter, kind of.
Yeah,
not very much because your AI companions were stupid.
Yeah, because they each had abilities and skills, I believe.
Yeah, they all did different shit. Like, you had like your demo dude and like all the different things.
Almost like a SOCOM.
Or even like the earlier Rainbow Six games, like where you could like tell your teammates to do different things, or like what was that other game that they did where it was in the future? Oh my God, Ghost Recon.
Ghost Recon? Yeah.
Bro, like I don't know, shovel those dudes up out of the ground wherever the fuck they are and make them make a remake to the Republic Commando game, or just a sequel, something. It could be completely different people, but the same idea. So like a first-person shooter, really cool like level design, like, and have it built all around this like tactical shooter thing where you have a team that you control what they do and how they do it, like along the lines of Ghost Recon, because Ghost Recon was really good with that. I had a lot of fun with the Ghost Recon franchise. So that'd be fucking awesome. I'd love something like that. Again, I agree with Shawn. We've seen Jedis to death, and everyone wants to see Jedis. So it would be cool to see the smaller stories in the universe play out.
I'd also just like to see another Empire game, like, or even like a New Order thing, like get a perspective from that. Like, I think it'd be cool to have like the Empire, like the Academy, like have where you're a young like Empire, trainee or cadet, and you're learning how to fly a TIE fighter, you're learning how to shoot weapons, and make it like, where, it's kind of this thing like where they find out that, hey, they're being blind to everything that the Empire's doing. They think they're doing the right thing and that kind of stuff. And then you have a choice, like, say, do you want to keep continuing with the Empire, or do you want to like rebel and go with the rebels? And then of course the story can have different endings and that kind of thing. I think it'd be cool to like have that kind of thing, because I think a good book series was Young Jedi Knights. I thought it was good. I mean, I have to reread them to get to maybe get a different opinion, but I really liked them because it was really cool to see like them learning how to become a Jedi, making their own lightsabers, all that kind of stuff. So I think it'd be cool to get the younger generation, like get a younger generation person to like see how they grow up in this world, like maybe start out from their home planet, move up, that kind of thing. I don't know. That's just another. But then like how would you want to do that? You want to do it like kind of like I think like the Harry Potter games, like you go through a different like year or whatever or something. I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
What about a remake of Super Star Wars?
Oh gosh,
those games were excellent.
They're good, but they're hard.
I was thinking, even like these are like more fringe examples, but like a remake of the racer games where you're like pod racing the whole time. That'd be cool.
Yes,
that'd be fantastic.
That'd be fun.
That'd be great.
Like just like give it to the Forza team. I don't care, because they make really good racers. Let them have some creative liberty, but their games are always fucking gorgeous. Like, it'd be like the prettiest Star Wars game ever if you just gave the Forza team a couple years to make it.
And please, please, please make a modern pod racer. Like, you don't have to be in the prequel era. You can like do the more like what would like the future of pod racing be? Like how would, because we've always seen the pod racing from, when Anakin was young kid, all that stuff. Like, I'd love to see like, hey, how is it now? Like, is it still a thing? Is it still, that kind of thing? So I think that'd be cool to see.
Yeah, hell yeah. I agree though. Let's stay away from the movies and Jedis. I want to see give people, because I think the closer they stray to that kind of shit, the more they have to be kind of careful what they do. Although they always have to be careful because it's Disney and it's involved and all that other shit. But
the canon, the lore is pretty deep, and then you've got the fans that have been into Star Wars forever, that have really enjoyed the world that up until the prequels, Lucas did such a good job monitoring, because every book that was written past his desk, had to get approval, had to fit. Like, they were very, very careful with canon, so that anything that was added in there was always appropriate. You didn't have plot holes, and so that was why it very rarely happened. You had so many cooks in the kitchen, so to speak, working on working on Star Wars, but they were able to sit there and make sure that it wasn't botched. I read all of the expanded universe up until the Uzang Vong, which was when they fucked it up badly. And I mean, there was a few good parts of it, but they really fucked it up bad. And that was the disappointing section. That was when the book started losing everybody. And I don't know what happened there. Like, again, I think Lucas had a prequel moment with that one.
Yeah.
I really do, because like anybody who grew up or got into the books at any time loved the fucking novels and how really, really spot on they were with staying true to the source material and so on, and being something that very much continued that world.
What if it's a horror game, but it's like Five Nights at Freddy's and you're cleaning Darth Vader's helmet? You gotta dodge him.
There's only one Star Wars horror novel, and that one absolutely is not canon.
It'd be so difficult to do properly, but so I wouldn't even try to make a game like that. But I would be super down for another, like, a remake of Dark Forces somehow. The thing is, like, moving from, I guess, like, how would you move from like a Doom engine game to today without it being like Doom or Wolfenstein? Like, I don't know if I'd
did
want.
It just fine. The second and third game weren't Doom engine games.
I haven't played those. So I need to see what they look like. But yeah, I'd like more of like a grittier Star Wars game.
They look like the old school computer first person shooter games.
Do you think Disney would allow a grittier Star Wars game?
I think Disney will do anything if they think it'll make them money. Obviously, they've done it already.
I need to send them letters saying I want a Star Wars game with blood and penis and stuff, and maybe we'll get one after I send enough letters. All right, so for the less interesting side, that means we might get some Indiana Jones games. Thoughts?
Yes. Made by a shit-ass developer.
Yeah, so we have one coming from Bethesda. Now, I have no fucking clue what this game is going to look like. Has Bethesda game even been made to like something that would fit Indiana Jones? Because when I think Bethesda, all I think of is like Fallout and Skyrim, and that doesn't remind me of Indiana Jones in any way, shape, or form. So
there's only been like 2 or 3 decent Indiana Jones games. All of the rest have been garbage.
Yeah, they would. I don't know how they would handle that. Maybe it'd have to be something along the vein of like Tomb Raider or Uncharted, right? I can't think of an Indiana Jones game outside of those like things. Also, I was thinking for Star Wars, just to go back to it real quick, what if we gave Santa Monica Star Wars and they made it like the new God of War format? That'd be kind of fucking cool. Like over the shoulder. You'd probably have to be a Jedi at that point. So even though we said we wouldn't, but over the shoulder being a Jedi, and it's like a RPG, like you could build your own lightsaber, full customization, blah blah blah, and you're going through different worlds and playing like the over the shoulder 3D. Because even just thinking about it, like the way Kratos throws his fucking axe, like you can build a system like that with the lightsaber. Obviously, it'd have to come back to you. You can't just yeet it and get stuck somewhere. But you get the idea. That'd be really fucking cool. And Santa Monica makes phenomenal games, so that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
you could literally put, but you could put a Mandalorian mod over God of War. Now I think about it, like the kid is Baby Yoda, and then
I mean that literally is Mandalorian.
It's the same idea. I mean that's
in a nutshell.
That type of story has been told time and time again.
Yeah,
like the disgruntled like
and
old person that grows to love a
about it.
Kid.
God of War
thing.
is an escort mission. If you think about it,
it is. However, except the escort's not a little piece of shit. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. They can take care of themselves.
Yeah. Definitely, it's an escort mission without all the bullshit. But yeah, I don't know. For Indiana Jones, I can't see Bethesda making this game. I don't know what it would look like. But like the only thing I could see an Indiana Jones game being like would be like Tomb Raider, Uncharted. Like
that's what it should be like.
Yeah.
Where Tomb Raider got its inspiration from.
Yeah, so like an action adventure, all the set pieces, narrative drive, all the music. Like, hopefully they'll be able to do something like that. But again, it's Bethesda, and that kind of worries me. Because the thing is... Oh, okay. So real quick, because Bethesda obviously is two entities. You have Bethesda Games and Bethesda. If it's being published by Bethesda, that means they're not making it. So it says Machine Games. Who the fuck are these people? What have they made?
They made
Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein, yeah.
Wolfenstein?
Which Wolfenstein?
The new ones.
The new ones.
The twins ones? Or
no. Well, they made
the
twins ones, but they also made all the good ones before that. They've been handling the reboot with id.
I would not want a first-person Indiana Jones
shooter.
Ever.
No, me neither. See, now I'm even more confused, bro. What else? Have they made anything else besides Wolfenstein?
Oh.
No.
The problem with Indy is it needs to be Harrison Ford's voice, and nobody is going to accept a shitty voice actor. So if they can't find someone that can do a spot-on impersonation, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Because that's something where it's so intrinsically tied with the actor that really defined the role.
Yeah. I don't think there's a single person in the world that thinks Indiana Jones that doesn't think Harrison Ford. So it's going to be
like that was a genre defining role.
Yeah. That's it has me interested, but not in a way that's good. I'm kind of waiting for the fallout at this point to kind of see what happens.
Bear in mind, Indiana Jones has his own expanded universe. Like he has his own novel series.
Yeah, I would assume so. Most major properties do. Damn. I'd rather have Arcane make this game than like Machine Games, because like Arcane worked on Dishonored and Prey. And I think the way they build the map would be kind of cool for an Indiana Jones game, where like you have all these different avenues to get in. What if you're presented with a pyramid or some shit? It's like go in there and raid it, but there's like 30 different ways you can get in, and you have a bunch of different tools as Indiana, obviously all grounded things that he's probably used before and shit like that to move around and do your stuff. Does Indiana Jones? I don't remember. So don't crucify me. Does Indiana Jones ever swing with his whip, or is it just a?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you could implement that. And I just think Arcane's really good at building open-ended, multiple avenue kind of maps, and I think that would benefit Indiana Jones games.
I would not be interested in an open-ended Indiana Jones game. I would want something that's tightly scripted.
No, these are not open-ended as an open world. Have you ever played an arcade game, bro? Dishonored, Prey. Prey is much more open than Dishonored. Dishonored literally drops you in on a hub, and you just move around, or you move throughout the hub, and there's different objectives and stuff to do, but it's all still heavily scripted and narrative focused.
Oh, okay.
It's not like they poop you out into a world of Assassin's Creed.
Investigative aspect.
Yeah, that too.
Make indie and do the investigative process and follow the clues and have really intense environmental puzzles.
Yeah, and I think Arcane's good at that, because of what they've done with Prey and more than Machine Games. I don't know.
Prey was a really slow-moving game, though. I mean, not that indie has to be fast-moving.
Yeah.
And I'd really want them to love the series, which means I'd want to see Sala. I would want to see cameos from Sala and pretty much all the major supporting actors from the series. It'd be nice to see Karen Allen, or depending on when you said it, because indie spent a lot of time, and has had a lot of romances, like a crazy amount.
Yeah.
So it did not necessarily Karen Allen, especially after how embarrassing that sequel was.
Yeah.
But it's just bring back Sala especially. Sala is like a requirement. You can't fucking have an Indiana Jones fucking thing and not have Sala in there somewhere.
Yeah. It says there's a ticket to Rome. I'm looking through the teaser real quick. Like, there's nothing crazy. It just pans over a desk to his hat, and it's picked up. Shows his whip. Nothing crazy. Literally nothing major. So I was wondering if there's any clues as to what in Indiana Jones' life where it may take place. But I didn't see anything major. So
yeah,
I would stay away from like old indie.
No, yeah. I think if they do anything, like I think the most realistic thing would either be something like midway. Even then, I don't know if I'd want to see like something I've seen in a movie before. Maybe like I'd see like a prequel being the most like something that's like some kind of adventure that existed before his adventures in the movies when he was really young, first getting into the biz, some kind of shit like that, and something along those lines. Because then that they have the most creative freedom. Then he can do whatever the fuck he wants because he's Indiana fucking Jones and he's young and prime and fresh and tasty and Harrison Ford. And then they could just kind of go crazy as long as they keep it grounded, if you understand what I'm saying. And then I could see them easily falling into the trap that like let's just make it like Uncharted. And while that would be good, I don't know if like Machine Games would make a Uncharted game as good, obviously, as the fuck are their names? People that made Uncharted. I've erased them from my memory after Last of Us 2. Naughty Dog. Yeah. So I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things. I was looking at it, and one of the searches also is Ninja Theory. I don't know if Ninja Theory could make an interesting indie game because they made what was it called? Setsuna or
I Am Setsuna.
No. That's the JRPG made by
it's a company that's owned by Square.
The one where she's got like psychological problems.
Oh yeah. Senua's Sacrifice.
Senua, that's what it was.
It's called Hellfire or something.
Hellfire is the new one that they're making, which we have no idea.
Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice.
Yeah. Hellblade was the first one, and then they have a new one coming out that has a different name. Yeah, blah blah blah. Yeah. But that'd be kind of interesting.
I thought they wrapped it up pretty fucking neatly in the first one, so I don't understand why they're making a second one.
Because it was popular. So they're like, shit, crack open the books.
They could easily make one and it not be
the same thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's like they could easily make Nintendo could easily make a new AP that's not Mario, but they're just gonna make another Mario game. So it's like that name. There's so much power in the name, even more so than the actual dev team. Like it's the game that the first person played, or you get the idea. So yeah, I mean. It's definitely like I'm excited because I've enjoyed Star Wars games in the past. I can't really say I've enjoyed Indiana games in the past because I haven't played any, but I've watched the films.
There's only been like 2 good ones.
So I'd be for a good Indiana Jones games, but like it's just the people behind it have me worried, and the way that Disney has handled some of these IPs have me worried. So I don't really know what we'll see. Hopefully they get some creative reign, get some passionate people in the project, people that love these franchises that are willing to just pour themselves into it and make something like truly special that just shows the love through every element of the game. I'd be all for it. I'm always for that kind of stuff. So, but hey.
They had a Indiana Jones game that was basically just like Super Star Wars that was okay. They had one that was a third-person action game, and I want to say it was Staff of Kings, but I could be wrong, that was good. And those are the only 2 I remember. I played like 3 others. I played the one on Wii. It was fucking horrendous. I played the one on Xbox, and it was unbelievably average. The one on Nintendo 64, I don't remember. It was either a 64 or Xbox. It was okay. But I don't remember which one it was. But the Indiana, it's hard to translate that shit into a decent game.
Definitely.
But they did it really well with Uncharted, which is why, even though it's a cheap shot, and even though I'm still kind of pissed off at that development studio, I think they
should do it. They have the most. Yeah, but
I just wouldn't allow them to direct it. Like I would bring on Spielberg.
Shawn,
and
did
have
you know?
Him direct the fucking game.
Indiana Jones is gay now. Because Naughty Dog took it up. So the Indiana Jones is now gay. And yeah. He's actually trans. So
I just think it's not I wouldn't let them direct it.
I feel that.
I don't have a problem with
just
the character being trans or gay. I don't care about any of that.
No, yeah, it's making Indiana Jones gay. That's the problem.
Fucking some of the other shit they did, but their writing has just gone downhill. Like,
it was bad in Last of Us. Just keep Neil Druckmann away from it. Yeah, keep Neil Druckmann away from it.
Like have Spielberg be the main guy and don't let George Lucas in the studio for more than 15 minutes.
Yeah. He comes in,
like
just
he can come in and go, yeah, I like that, but you should try this, and then leave. Get him out.
And he shits on the desk on the way out.
Spielberg.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, again, there's just like so many. There's like a delicate balancing act here. There's a lot of people to please. There's a lot of things you have to do properly to keep that feel there. I would say
all you have to do is stay true to the films.
Yeah. But then again, like, yeah. I just don't want another.
The books did it.
I don't want a film game though. I want something new, but stay true to the feel, the spirit of the movies. Yes, definitely.
The character, yeah.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I don't need a film game. I've got the movies. They're fucking perfect.
Yeah.
I don't need any of that. Nobody's asking for that.
I just want to see more, to be honest. Like, we're literally, like, there's nothing major from either of these things. It's just really exciting seeing that they're opening up the gates to allow more devs in. And I really would like to see, if Disney wants a big one up on my book, like, I want to see smaller devs like approaches on this and stuff like that. They could take some royalties, whatever, but I want to see like some indie approaches to this, because I think indie is where a lot of the passion is, and I think is where you see it's where the passion is directed very well to. I would like to say usually there's smaller teams, it's handled better, and I would like to see a really good like indie approach to this as well, something that's not corporate as fuck, like Bethesda, like Ubisoft, but we'll see. Ubisoft can very easily poop out a bounty hunter game that's literally just reskinned Assassin's Creed. I would not even bat an eye if that's exactly what fucking happened. Like, it's just how much faith I do not have in Ubisoft. So, I don't know. I really hope that they're able to make it something good, but that's about it. It's exciting though. Again, we're trying to guess to the future, see what's gonna go. I do not know how this indie game is gonna go though. Machine game, the Wolfenstein games are phenomenal. Outside of Youngblood, that game is trash. The rest of them are all really fucking good games.
Yeah,
so they make good games. I just don't want a game like that to be an Indiana Jones game. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be weird. So definitely excited to see what comes out of it. But that's about it for this week, boys. We've already hit our time, and I'm excited to see what the future holds. Holy shit, 2021's coming in hot. With all the bullshit. Did you guys hear about the killer squirrels? Did we ever talk about that in New York?
No.
It happened a couple weeks ago. Like, it's like right around the turn of the year. Like, there was a bunch of squirrels in New York. They were thinking that there was like some kind of something making them like crazy in the sewer system, and they were attacking people on the street. Let me see if I can find an article for him. Attack squirrels, New York. Yep, it's the first fucking thing.
Well, you typed attack squirrels in New York. If there's an article about squirrels attacking people in New York,
no.
The first thing.
I was reading it. Attack squirrels was all I typed, and New York was the first thing to pop up. So this is December 31st, literally at the end of the year. Residents of Queens neighborhood are dealing with a squirrely threat. Oh, fuck you. This is NBC 12. Denizens of New York's boroughs, Rego Park neighborhood say an aggressive squirrel has jumped on them and bitten them in the past several weeks. Michelin Frederick pointed to a bruise on her wrist, said that the squirrel landed on her and then sank its teeth into her fingers and hand. We're wrestling in the snow and there's blood everywhere and my fingers getting chewed and it won't let go, Frederick said. Eventually it just stopped and there I was, a big bloody mess. They even have a picture. Damn, that shit's there's literally blood all over the fucking place. A photo Frederick says she took after the attack. She was a snowy pathway covered in blood. This was an MMA cage match, and I lost. She added. Two other neighbors told WCBS that the squirrel had jumped on them seemingly unprovoked. These squirrels are aggressively going after people. The city's Department of Health advised the neighbors to hire a licensed trapper, but the large metal traps have not yet captured any squirrels. So the squirrel is still at fucking large, boys. This is when you let the dogs out, literally. Let them out. They will chase the squirrels. They'll get rid of it. This was just the start. The squirrels didn't win that battle, but they're going to win the war. I'm waiting for the uprising. Shit's going down somewhere. So, yeah. But I remember, like, that was getting memed to shit because the year literally is turning over into the new year, and there's like, squirrels attacking people in fucking New York. Fucking insane. But, yeah, that was funny. But... all right, boys. We've come to the end. Everyone tuning in. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us, but we're going to extend this conversation to you. What do you fucking want to see from Star Wars and Indiana Jones? Who do you want making it? What do you want it to look like? Please let us know. Discord, email, Facebook. let us know. We really want to hear from you guys. What kind of creative options you guys have? What kind of devs you want to see on these projects? I'm just excited to see that the floodgates are opening. So I'm sure I don't care as much about Indiana Jones, but Star Wars definitely. So you know, I'd wrap it up though. Boys, we have come to the end of episode 161, I think it is. What episode are we on?
I think that was last week, wasn't it?
What? 162 it is. You're right. Mm-hmm. It's just you lose track. So, what do you guys say for yourself, Sam?
I want to impart some words of wisdom
on
everyone before we leave. They say that 7 days without a pun makes 1 week.
Fucking hate you.
You remind me of that Family Guy when Chris goes to the
the school. Yeah. They're all laughing, and the one that extended the laugh way too fucking far. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. All right, Shawn.
Hugs and kisses and all your pink pies.
Oh fuck yeah! I got a pink part ready. That's for after the show though. Yeah. So as we always say, again, make sure you let someone know you love them, you appreciate them, and you're happy that they're in your life. But before we go, I have a thought for y'all. In 10 minutes, a hurricane releases more energy than all the world's nuclear weapons combined.